back to Bionic Life. My name is Kevin, and today we are at Thistle Maple Farm. This is not your typical sugar house. This facility, in its previous life, was a GE lighting plant, and I believe they made the bases for incandescent light bulbs up until the mid-80s, late 80s, sometime in there. But now it is a maple bottling facility, but it also has an evaporator. My role is to run the evaporator during the maple season, which is late winter, early spring. Coming from a dairy background, I had some exposure to the maple industry. We visited some family farms that had a sugar bush when I was young, and so I know a little bit about it, but I wasn't heavily involved in it. The difference in maple compared to dirt farming like crops and dairy farming, with dairy you're taking water and feed, putting it through a cow, hoping to get a lot. With the dirt farming, you're putting a little tiny seed in the ground, planting it, and hoping to get a lot. With maple, you're taking a lot of sap and making it a little. So it's a different mindset. Today we're going to show the challenges faced by a hip disarticulated amputee using a mechanical hip in an OttoBock Genium X3 prosthetic knee. So the first thing that happens in the maple sugaring process is sap comes in. In this facility, the way it's laid out, and because it's an old industrial plant, there are steps and catwalks and everything else. So the first thing you have to do is you change the valves and where the sap runs into a tank. And that involves going up a set of steps. These are just wooden platforms built around 3 stainless steel sap tanks. Each tank holds just under 6,000 gallons. It's like 5,700 and some odd gallons. But it involves going up and down steps. Normally, you're up and down these steps. If I was doing it by myself, I would be up and down these steps multiple times. Thankfully, we have a great team and other people make the multiple trips, but I do go up and down them occasionally. We'll just do a quick demonstration of the OttoBock Genium X3 traversing steps up and coming down. The next step is reverse osmosis. This is something we didn't have at the sugar bushes when I was very young, and I remember going around to these things. A reverse osmosis system, some people have in their homes for drinking water at the sink or out of the refrigerator. And it splits the impurities away from the pure water. Now, at home, you're drinking the pure water, and that's what you want. You don't want the impurities. But in the maple industry, the impurities are the sugar. The impurities are the minerals and the other good things that are in sap. And that's what you want. By splitting water off and keeping the sap, you're concentrating it, and it just saves fuel, it saves time, you let machines do most of the work, and you finish the boiling process. So when you're working around these reverse osmosis systems, the floor can get wet, and this floor has a neat feature. I don't know if it's intentional, but it's pretty grippy when it's wet. It doesn't get slick. So the only thing is there's some slopes and some slants to the floor around the ROs, so the water that comes off of them when you're doing the cleaning processes, so it goes to a drain. So you just kind of have to watch for that. So this sap goes up into a concentrate tank. Now this concentrate tank has a ladder. Thankfully it's the crew that goes up there most of the time. You know, we have Austin and Phil, and they're up and down that ladder a couple of times a night. I have gone up it, and I use the Genium X3. I feel pretty comfortable with it with 3 points of contact. We will not demonstrate the Rio on this. I just don't have that much faith in it. Sorry, Osher. But the OttoBock wins in this category. Once we confirm there's sap in the concentrate tank, we start charging or filling the evaporator. Now while you're running the evaporator, you have air lines. You have garden hose. There's a hose to hose down any hiding the evidence, as somebody likes to say. Here's why. A little bit of syrup on the floor, when it's dry, is sticky. And that's a challenge. Like, my feet will stick, so you try to keep that to a very minimum. Try to keep it clean. Wet syrup is like grease. It is super slick. So these floors, when they're wet, it's better than having syrup on them. And for me, dry syrup is only second to wet syrup for being a hazard. If it sticks my foot, sometimes it throws me off balance. I'm expecting my foot to move, and it doesn't. Ramps are kind of a nemesis for me. I'm not 100% comfortable going down ramps. I would rather go down steps than ramps. They're a little bit of a challenge for me, but the OttoBock Genium X3 makes ramps much more comfortable than even the Rio. The Rio, I just can't, I don't know, I just don't have the confidence in it. The OttoBock builds a sense of confidence, and I really like it for ramps. Hopefully this demonstrates the capabilities of the OttoBock in real world, non-promotional type of an environment. That's what I hope to accomplish with these videos, is to share with those who have challenges that you can still live life. As you can see, the OttoBock is, in my opinion, an awesome prosthetic. If you benefited by watching this video, please hit like. If you know of somebody who can benefit, please share. And as always, subscribe. Thanks for watching.